Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a thermal hoodie. And I took this picture off of Dharma's website, and that's where I bought the hoodie, and I'll put a link for it down below in the description box. I turned the hoodie inside out, and then I smoothed it, and then decide where you want the center of your spiral to be, give it a little pinch, and then spiral it up. So I'll pinch and hold with one hand, and then I use my other hand to create the pleats and spiral it around. And just add a whole bunch of pleats and try not to have them overlap each other. It just makes for better dye placement. And then once you get it all spiraled up, just secure it by using rubber bands. If you're new to tie-dyeing, I know long sleeves can seem somewhat intimidating, but don't be intimidated by it. It's just another extension of fabric, and all you gotta do is just wrap them around just like you do the rest of it. And this pattern, you can use this on anything. You can use it on t-shirts, skirts, pants, whatever. So just because this is a long sleeve hoodie doesn't mean you have to do a long sleeve hoodie. You could do a short sleeve t-shirt if you wanted. I'm making 6 of these hoodies, so I'm doing somewhat of an assembly line. So I thought it would go a lot quicker and be more efficient if I used the bottles to do dye placement. And I got these bottles off of Amazon, and I have a link for them down below in the description box, along with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so check that out. So the recipe for this is 1/4 cup of soda ash to 2 teaspoons of dye. Doesn't matter what the asterisks are, that's just the recipe that I use. Except for black, I do add 4 teaspoons of dye. Using these bottles is much more efficient, and I am strongly believing that I use way less dye by doing it this way. I did 6 hoodies, and I only used a 1/2 cup of soda ash and 4 teaspoons of dye to make all 6 of them, and I still have enough dye in each bottle to probably make 2 more hoodies. And a couple of these are huge, like 3X and 2X. So had I done it the old-fashioned way, I think I would have used way more dye. Just as a side note, the reason why you see me putting 4 scoops in the bottle is because I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon. It fits right down inside the bottle. Otherwise, I would have to use a funnel, and then I'd have to clean it out in between each color, and it's just a lot easier to do it this way. After I got done filling my bottles, before the next step, I wanted to give a quick little clean of the table, and I love to use Clorox wipes. They just come in really super handy. And then, if you have a huge mess, you can use like the bathroom spray and a Clorox wipe, and then just let it air dry, and once the table is dry, all the bleach has evaporated. Now you want to use a washable marker and mark out your pattern. Now it's time for the fun part. We get to add the dye. And so all you gotta do is just sprinkle it on. Some of the colors are a little more dense. Bright green was really stubborn. It's a more sticky, dense powder. So what I ultimately ended up doing was getting really frustrated, and I just cut the nozzle of the bottle a little bit wider, and it ultimately came out a lot easier. But all you have to do is give like little puff squeezes on the bottle or a little shake, and it comes right out. So I really do like this method a lot. So once we got past that bright green, notice how easily the lime squeeze is going on, and all of the colors just go on with the greatest of ease and precision, and I really do like that. And I just want to quickly say that, a handful of you reached out to me and asked if I was okay, and it really meant a lot to me, you guys. I appreciate that. It's nice to know that people care. And I'll tell you what happened. My neighbor is 89 years old, and I went out there and I helped her remove a tree stump, and I threw my back out badly. And on top of that, I misplaced my iPad, and so I was laid up, couldn't find my iPad, I couldn't create any tie-dye, and so I'm completely 100% fine. And again, for those of you that reached out to me, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. The main focus of this tutorial is on the extra small hoodie, but I decided to leave this part in just to show you how quickly and efficiently these bottles work, and how if you set up yourself an assembly line, you can do a lot of projects all at once with the greatest of ease. Take note, after doing 3 hoodies, each bottle has the same amount in it, and it's easily enough to at least make one more extra large hoodie. I'm ultimately going to fill this tote with 2 full bags of ice. I think it's a 1-pound bag. There were a few pieces that wouldn't break up, so I take my bag of ice and I bash it on the floor a few times. But there were these huge chunks because this ice is stale. It's been in the freezer for a while because I always use my ice maker. So I wanted to carefully place the big chunks on top of the hoodies so it wouldn't knock the dye all over the place. And then once I felt like I had a pretty good layer on top, then I just opened the bag up and poured it on. So this is what it looks like after the ice is melted, and this is called muck, and you want to just set it and forget it and trust the muck. Now, if you want to mess around with your muck and stir it up, that's fine. You do whatever you want, but this is how I do it. And you want to let it batch for 24 hours after the ice melts. It's been about a week since the ice is melted, and now it's time for the rinse out. And like I said, I threw my back out and I was unable to do any tie-dye, so that's not the usual. But as you can see, even after a week, nothing serious happened. The muck water didn't do any damage. So you want to start by using cold water, and that's going to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fibers, and then gradually increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. From here, I take it to the washing machine and I do a plain hot water cycle. I do a second hot water cycle using Kirillon, which is a textile detergent that I get from Dharma, and I do a third hot water cycle using Milsoft, which brings softness back into the fabric after the dyeing process. And I also get that from Dharma, and I have links for them down below in the description box. Then I put it in the dryer and we'll come back and we'll see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our thermal hoodie after it's been washed and dried, and it turned out great, even after sitting in the muck for 7 days. You know, I had to keep reminding myself when I wasn't able to get to it that Dharma says after 48 hours, the soda ash and dye are no longer reacting, and you can see right here that that's true because nothing happened. So I love this hoodie. Now, it's very stylish. It has a nice long length, and the sleeves are nice and long, so they kind of give a slouchy look over your hand. And they're very form-fitting, and they're supposed to be. It's not like a zip-up hoodie, like a jacket. It's supposed to be like a cute, tight shirt. So if you're gonna order one of these to make for yourself and you don't like a snug fit, I would say order up a size or 2, because they're designed to be tight. I really like the way that they took the dye, and I'm definitely going to get some more of these and make them again. I'm going to be putting these up on my Etsy shop at some point, so if any of you are interested, you can go ahead and check that out, and I have a link for my Etsy down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up, and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.